Hi, I'm Kerry, the host of Best of Us Investors. I've been getting a little bit of flack in the comments on my videos because I've become a waffler. That's what you all are calling me. And waffling, I guess, from my interpretation, says you said one thing 2 weeks ago, and now you're saying something entirely opposite. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I probably said the NASDAQ market's going to keep running up, and because the federal government's continuing to print money, Joe's asking for a 3.2. Well, I would be negligent if I did not recognize that Joe's running into some headwinds, that they're telling him, no, Joe, you can't have your 3.2, and there's enough conservative Democrats out there that we can keep it from happening before the end of the year, and put a little shame on you and hold you back. Well, that's a reality. So I have to react to it. So yes, I waffled and I said I was a long-term investor and there's 6 stocks that I'll never sell. Well, I did sell because I see an opportunity. I took 200,000 out of Google, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, and Tesla. I didn't take it out of Apple because Apple's in my non-qualified account, and I would have to be dealing with capital gains taxes that I don't care to deal with. So all of these other liquidations, though, came out of Nita and I's IRA. So there's no tax consequence. So I'm taking advantage of what I see as an opportunity. Now, what I want to do in today's video is show you where I think the bottom of this is, and I've gone back to my Trading Views graph, and I've put a trend line, and I think basically what I'm going to show you is it'll come down to that trend line, if not today or not tomorrow, within the next couple weeks, and that's when I'll go and just reverse my sell. So, but first of all, this is not financial advice. This is just me sharing with you my years of experience, my knowledge, and then helping you make a better investment decision. I do not suggest you do what I do. Have some intelligence, put some work into it, and say, does that make sense? Or is he a total idiot? But first of all, I got to tell you, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm here for education. I'm here to educate. I'm here to share my knowledge with you. So let's get rid of this little disclaimer. You know, you see this on all the medical ads. And don't take this if. Don't do this unless you do your own due diligence. Be right back.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
Okay, today is Monday, and this video isn't going to be seen until Wednesday, but that's just the way it is. What I wanted to do was take you back to my chart and bring it in a little bit closer. As I had predicted, the QQQs, the NASDAQ market, would be down today. As it is, the Dow is down as well. But the NASDAQ is down 2.16% as I speak here. And so what I wanted to do was say, okay, what is, if you can put some prediction to it, how far is it going to go down? And I've gone again to my Trading View charts. If you don't have this, there's a link to it in the description so you can get a discount. And you can build a picture like this, and I'm a very picture-oriented person, and get kind of a history of where the NASDAQ trades. And if you've seen my other preceding 4 videos, I've talked about that the NASDAQ's growth over the last, particularly the last 20 years, has been driven by the federal government's printing money. And the biggest part of it started back here in 2020 as the debt was 20 trillion, and then by 2021 we pumped 8 trillion into it. And this is This is my growth of the debt as it goes through. And you can see the NASDAQ runs right with it. So what I wanted to say was, if Joe doesn't get his 3.5, and that's what this is all hinging on, is a continuing of liquidity into the market from the federal government to keep the NASDAQ going up. If he doesn't get his 3.5 trillion, what's going to happen? And I don't think he's going to get it before the first of the year. I just don't see it happening. But nonetheless, I wanted to say, okay, what is the trend? And that's this green line down here of pullbacks from the NASDAQ since 2020. And of course, the biggest one was relative to the coronavirus. And I don't think it's really relevant to where we are, but we can see that was about a 29% pullback. Then we had another one here in September, around September the 20th, and that was a 13.9% pullback. Then we had another one in this March, and that was about 11.44. In May, we had a pullback of 8.1. And right now, if we come down to this trend line, it will be 8.49%. In reality, I believe that if Joe doesn't get his 3.5, this will come down to probably 10 to 15%. That's my guess. And that's all it is. And to accommodate that, I have taken $200,000 out of my portfolio and put it on the sidelines in anticipation of this pullback. Now, as I look at it, Apple is down 2.18, Tesla's down 4.5. Some of the big ones I don't see here. Okay, Microsoft's down 1.78 and Google's down 2.1. If they will come down to this 8-10% that I'm talking about, I'll buy back in. That's an easy 10%, because I believe that eventually Joe will get his 3.5 trillion, and eventually this market will continue to go up. What I also believe, it will be driven by this, and that is healthcare. And I repeat this regularly. I had a video Zoom conference with part of our tribe from the Discord this morning, and I said that this can never happen again event. This is comparable to Bretton Woods in July of, I believe it was 1944, when the Allies got together and said, relative to World War II, this can never happen again. Well, this is what's driving this market too. And what is going to be the driving force is healthcare. And I know, because I wear a Fitbit, that Google's going to be in it. And I know, because I know a lot of people who wear Apple Watches, they're going to be in it. So I want to be in that part of the disruption of technology and that part of the market. And in addition to that, as again, I beat this drum, go back to my September 4th video, there are about 12 healthcare stocks that are just going to skyrocket, because they are going to be on the leading edge of the healthcare revolution. So that's my take on my chart. Again, if you want to duplicate this, go to tradingviews.com. It's in the description, and you'll get a discount there. So let's talk a little bit more about how do we react to this, and when do we know to get back in? I guess that's the big question. As I said, when do we get back in? When do I take my $200,000 and jump back into the market and say, yeah, let's go for it? Well, I guess I have set a goal of a pullback of at least 10 to 15%, as high as 20. When it gets there, I'm not going to be greedy. I'm confident it will get there, and and I'm not going to be greedy, and I'll go in and rebuy my Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Facebook, and Tesla, and say thank you very much for the discounted sale, and go forward. Because again, I believe that these are the companies that are going to take us into the future, and with the help of the biotech stocks that I own. And they, as I say, I covered them very completely in a September 4th video that you need to go look at, because these are the companies that are going to duplicate the last 20 years of Amazon, Google, Apple, Microsoft, and Tesla. They're going to duplicate it. And so you need to keep abreast of what companies are going to make that happen. What companies are going to revolutionize our healthcare system? As I said to my Zoom meeting this morning, this watch tells me of my heart rate at night. It tells me I can do an EKG and forward it to my doctor. This is healthcare of the future. And if you aren't aware of that, become aware of it. And then you got to figure out that's the first step. The next step is the genome sequencing, the genome editing, the protein sequencing, the protein editing, and then you have the artificial intelligence that are Abcelera is helping the pharmaceutical companies cut their time in a petri dish by automating and putting technology into the pharmaceutical laboratories. This is happening. It's happening as we speak. And if you didn't see 60 Minutes, they've run it twice now, how the federal government is really behind this, how Joe Biden has a vested interest, because he lost his son to cancer, to help us find a cure for cancer and other diseases. And I say, Joe's got a vested interest in possibly finding a cure for Alzheimer's as well. So these are important issues. And you need to understand as well that the people who have the money in this world, that's the baby boomers, there's 79 million of us. We want this. This is important. This is real important to the people who have money in this world. And so just watch your ads on TV. If it isn't a lawyer chasing an ambulance down the highways from a semi hitting a car, it's the pharmaceutical companies giving you all the reasons you need to take their pills, because the buying public is the baby boomer. They're reaching the end of their life. They're going to be in the hospital. They are most susceptible to this pandemic, and they're the people with the money. So that's where you need to be. Right now, as I called it, the NASDAQ market is correcting. Let me just see what it's at right now. Down 2.25% today. Overall, it's probably down about 5% since its last high. It's an opportunity. That's all it is. Okay, that's my take on the market for today, and keep up with it. I'm gonna stay very timely. Again, in the past, I've been a long-term investor, but I can't pass up a no-brainer like this. I can't it's all about connecting the dots. This happened, this happened, this happened. So this is going to happen. The NASDAQ market is going to correct. All right, talk to you again tomorrow.